Yo, mate, what the fuck? You almost killed me, bugger. It's always bouncy and it's wobbly. Good. I'm just making a video on YouTube. Cheers. Hey there, bikers. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. In my previous video, I spoke about the things I like on my KTM Duke 390. In today's video, we'll change the script and talk about the things I don't like about my KTM Duke 390. So stay tuned and watch this video until end. If you haven't seen my previous video, just click on this iCard and that'll take you to the video where I spoke about the things I love on the Duke. As we all know that motorcycles cannot be manufactured to perfection. Every motorcycle has its own characteristics and purpose. Keeping that in the mind, let's unlock some of the negatives on the KTM Duke 390, which I think could have been better. The first thing I don't like about the KTM Duke is its bouncy suspension in the front. Because of this poor suspension setup, the stability on the front of the motorcycle is very poor. What I mean is, if you're doing high speeds, the bike does not feel planted to the road. Instead, it gets too wobbly and it gets too bouncy, which puts you into a very uncomfortable situation. That's the first thing I don't like on the Duke, the bouncy front suspension. The second thing that I don't like, could be silly, are these small indicators. I understand that KTM designed it based on this sleek look of the motorcycle. But trust me, in daylight, it's really hard for someone to spot that the indicators are flashing. It is bright, but I think it's too small. That's my point. It should have been a little bit bigger. These flashing lights on the speedometer, like if I sit on the motorcycle like that, right, I'm looking in the front, I turn my indicator on. What happens is I forget to turn the indicator off, is because the lights are to the left of the screen and they're too small and hollow, which does not grab my attention, so I always forget to turn the indicators off. Instead, what I would have preferred is auto turn off, which is a latest feature. I think it's available on the 3rd generation Duke. They could have done that with this model as well. So what I would have preferred is, instead of these lights flashing to the left of the screen and these arrows being that small hollow shape, I would have preferred it in the middle of the screen, bigger arrows and solid blinking lights. That would have grabbed my attention and I would never forget to turn the indicators off. So that's the second silly thing which I don't like on my KTM Duke. Alright, so let's hit the road and we'll discuss the third thing that I don't like on my KTM Duke. So the first thing that I don't like is the suspension in the front. Very bouncy, it's not stable on high speeds. The bike is not planted to the road. The second thing is that indicator lights, which in my opinion could have been a bit more, elegant, bright and bigger. The third thing that I don't like on the KTM Duke is the gearbox. The gearbox is so hard, it is so rough. Sometimes, I kind of feel that the gear lever is going to break or something. That's how shifting gears on the Duke 390 feels. Very harsh and very rough. I would say that it's not a concern if you're cruising at highway speeds, because you'll be mostly using 6th gear. But when you come to the cities is where you'll be doing like frequent gear shifts, and I kind of feel that the gearbox should have been a bit more smoother, but instead it's kind of rough and hard. That's the third thing that I don't like on my KTM Duke. So the fourth thing that I don't like about my KTM Duke is the bike feels very lazy when you're attacking like tight corners. Let's say I'm cruising at about 60 or 70 at the moment and you encounter a tight corner like this. Look, that's the issue. The issue is the bike feels very lazy. It feels very sluggish. The reaction time of the bike to attack a tight corner all of a sudden is very bad. I'm assuming that the reason is because it's a tall motorcycle and the wheelbase is a bit longer, which makes it very lazy and sluggish when you're attacking tight corners. So that is something that's annoying on the KTM Duke. When you're doing twisties at a moderate pace, the bike feels fantastic, but when you have to encounter a sudden curve like we just saw, that is where the bike feels a bit lazy and sluggish. But otherwise, normal twisties at a moderate pace, the bike feels fantastic. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are the things that I don't like about my KTM Duke. So the suspension in the front, very bouncy, it's not stable on high speeds. The indicators, I just felt that it's too small and it's not bright enough, and those indicator flashing lights are not catchy for the eyes. I forget turning that off. And number 3, gear shifting is too hard. It could have been a bit softer. And number 4, the bike feels very lazy when you're doing like tight corners. And other than that, I think the bike is fine. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying it so far. So those were my thoughts on the things that I don't like about the KTM Duke. If I missed out something, let me know in the comment section below. And also tell me what are the things that you don't like about the KTM Duke. You might have heard a lot of other stuffs on the internet about the vibrations on the bike and the engine heat. So my thoughts on that are something like that. I would say that this being a single cylinder engine and producing good power and the bottom end torque, the engine is going to be a bit vibey, which is like common sense. You have to understand that. You can't make that a complaint. I would say that the KTM is doing a good job in terms of value for money. You're not going to be hitting 100Ks and over 100Ks every single time you're on the motorcycle. It's very rare that you're going to feel that vibrations. So vibrations is never a problem for me. I'm kind of used to it. Apart from that, the engine heat, like I said, it's a single cylinder, powerful, torquey engine. It is gonna heat up a lot quicker compared to other twin cylinders or its competitors in the market today. I would say that the engine heat will not be a big issue if you're geared up well enough. If you're wearing like a proper riding pant, you might not feel heat as much. But of course, if you're on your shorts, then you will feel the engine heat straight onto your skin. Another thing is the seat. Of course, the seat is not soft. You're doing like long rides can put a lot of stiffness on your bum. So that is something the KTM can fix. They can provide much more softer and practical seats so that riders feel comfort even on long rides. So that's pretty much it. Those are the things which I don't like on my KTM Duke. Other than that, the bike is fantastic in my opinion. Does its job. It's been good to me so far. I'm planning for long rides on the KTM Duke so that I can give a bit more detailed review about it. And I think for this video we are done. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Show some love and support. Let me know about your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. I'll see you all in another video with another topic. Until then, stay safe, take care, and have a good one. Hey John, mates. Hey John. Yo mate, what the fuck? What's going on, mate? You almost killed me, bugger.